Hello, everyone. I am Juliet Aurora of AIS Solutions and Ninja Network, and I have the pleasure of sitting down with Jeff Cates, the president of Intuit Canada, today for our third annual interview. We are fortunate enough to be able to do this every year at the QuickBooks Connect. This year we didn't get to do it in San Jose, but
better yet,
we get to do it in our hometown, Toronto in Canada. So welcome, Jeff.
Thank you.
If you'd maybe start off by telling us a little bit about yourself and your role at Intuit Canada.
Sure. I started off as a small business owner, a failed small business owner. Started off after that going to the corporate route, working for Hewlett Packard. I spent 15 years there. I went to Apple, and then 6 years ago I moved to Intuit. And now I feel like I'm in this blessed role where I have the opportunity to be able to help out thousands of small businesses every day. So if I'm not going to be one, I get a chance to help many. In addition, I sit on the Startup Canada board, which I'm really honored to be on that. And I sit on the government's financial literacy steering committee as well, which is really gratifying.
So I see a theme in there with small business financial literacy. Absolutely. Yes. So this is the first QB Connect conference in Toronto.
Yes.
Can you tell us what your hopes are for the conference? We understand that it's sold out, which must be amazing for you.
Yes.
But tell us what you hope to get for everyone to get out of the conference.
Well, it's been such an incredible journey because we started this idea of an event for cloud accountants back 4 years ago. It was originally called the VIP event. It was like 75 of us, and then it became the big tax event, and then it became Thrive when we started to add developers to the mix. So it was like accountants, bookkeepers, and developers. And then this year we have expanded and added small business and self-employed, and so now it's under the QuickBooks Connect banner, which has now become a global event that's held across many of the countries we operate in. So it's been wonderful seeing this evolution, but the spirit of how do we help celebrate technology and the role it plays in lifting up the industry and having accounting professionals play this hugely more influential role powered by technology. That's been from the heart of where we started to where we are today. It's just a little bit bigger now. So this year we'll have about 1,200 people out. Last year we had about 550. The year before we had 275. So we've come a long way.
So you're just doubling every year.
We have been.
It sounds like. Okay.
We have been. Yeah.
Excellent. So obviously QuickBooks Connect we're in Toronto. Can you tell us, you're also doing an event in January in Vancouver, which is called Get Connected. So can you tell our audience a little bit about that?
Yeah, so Get Connect, we recognize that not everybody can make it to the hubs where we've got the big QuickBooks Connect event, and we want to make sure that we are making it easy for cloud accountants to come together and learn together and share ideas together, as well as venues for developers to be with our accountant partners. And so this is really an extension of the event here out to the BC in particular, which is, I hope, will help attract people from the West Coast to come out and get involved and learn and be part of the community.
Excellent. When we sat down last year, you told me about an initiative called the 10K program.
Mm-hmm.
I'd love to hear an update on that if you'd like to share. Maybe tell our audience a little bit about what it is and how you've made out with it.
Sure. Yeah, the program is called Startup Foundations, and our goal was to get to 10,000 small businesses, and still remains the goal. Startup Foundations, well, really the genesis is it started about 4 years ago when we went out to small businesses and said, if you were to go back and do it all over again, what would you do differently? And the number one thing they said was, we wish we'd spent more time understanding financial management skills. It just gets harder once you get started. And as a failed small business owner, I can attest to that. And so we said, hey, we can do something about that. So that's kind of like in our area code. We should be able to make an impact. And so we started by doing boot camp work with Startup Canada and with content from CPA, and that was really, really working. But we wanted to find a way to scale it and make a bigger impact with this goal of getting to 10,000. So Startup Foundations is taking that kind of core curriculum for the boot camps, expanding it by including other organizations in to teach, and then also offering an online course so that we can provide that knowledge and learning in a variety of different forms. So it's been going great. I think we're now 1,800 people that have gone through either program. And I feel like we're just getting started. You know, my dream is that we create a driver's ed style course where different organizations can teach the curriculum, and we can connect. If you take this curriculum and learn this, you are more likely to, say, pay a loan back. And then others, like banks, will say, great, you know, we want in on this too, and we'll help give easier access to capital, right? Because somebody we know went through that and is more likely to be successful. So that's the dream, 10,000, and then hopefully we scale around the world.
Excellent, excellent. I mean, I love your passion and your energy around education. That's something that I believe really strongly in, so I absolutely love that.
Can you give me a pause for 5 seconds? Okay, go ahead.
So there are a lot of changes that are coming, and changes that have happened since last year. Can you tell me one or two of the biggest ones for you since last year and when we sat down of what's happened either in our industry or with Intuit or with QuickBooks? What are one or two things that stand out for you?
Sure, gosh.
You have to pick one or two. I know there's been a lot.
There's so much. That's what's been so exciting this year. It's like, oh my gosh, what did we pick to feature? Which is wonderful. One of the things I think I probably talked about this vision of, you know, we start with clean data, we automate as much as we can in books so we can like strip out the mundane work and empower the bookkeepers to be working on the business, not in the business, right? More time spent coaching, mentoring. But right now we're kind of stopping there. And there's more work to be done, in particular around work papers, right? Automating work papers and bringing like the power of many to the one individual situation. And so there's a lot we can do around work papers. And then lastly, tax app, right? The ability to integrate a tax app that can speak back to the system so that you can then, you know, with automation all the way through that workflow, you can now do scenario planning. And we can add in artificial intelligence to like push instant insights directly to the accountant or the bookkeeper so they can not only have a ton of time freed up through the automation, but also be able to hear these insights that are like, wow, let's go talk to our small business about this to help them save money. So, it's just like, it's so great, and Canada's playing this pioneer role in doing that, and I'm just so proud of the work we're doing. So if I had one, it would be that workflow, right? Imagining this future. The second is artificial intelligence. What got announced at QuickBooks Connect is this AI conversational user interface that will allow people to now just talk to their system and say, how am I doing? You know, how is my profit and loss? And
it was so exciting.
Like that is just like, whoa, you know, it's crazy where we'll go with that. And again, we're just at the very beginning.
Yes.
But just imagine a world where the system is pushing things to you, just saying, hey, you should be aware of this, or you might want to think about this. It's just really cool. It's mind-blowing. And this is the first year where like there's real tangible proof points.
Okay. And again, we saw a demo of it in San Jose, and it was just so exciting. I couldn't believe it. Again, if you think about where accounting software was 10 years ago compared to what it is now, you can't even recognize it at all.
It's pretty incredible.
It is, absolutely. So what excites you about what's coming next? You may have answered that already. You know, the AI piece is obviously something you're very excited about. Anything else that you'd like to maybe share with our audience?
Oh, yeah, AI, automating that workflow to enable scenario planning, to enable like instant insights or advanced insights. That's really big. We've announced at the QuickBooks Toronto event, advanced payroll. That's something I'm really passionate about. We know many of our customers are saying, hey, we want more time-saving features. We want more scenarios covered. So we're really proud to announce that. US announced lending. I think that's a wonderful area for us to invest in Canada. So I'm really excited about helping small businesses find capital. Just so much this year, just so much to talk about. It's great.
Okay. So a couple of questions now about, you know, we've talked about all the excitement in the industry. A couple of recognitions that Intuit Canada has had that perhaps you can shed some insight for us. So the first one was that Intuit Canada was voted #1 on the best places to work in Canada. Now, you guys have been on that list for many, many years, but this time you took the top spot. So can you share with our audience perhaps one thing that would help them try and create a culture and an environment, where you could earn a title like that?
Sure. Well, the award is Great Place to Work, and it's we won #1 for larger multinational, which is really, really phenomenal. It's like coveted. At the end of the day, we want to be in the top 10 because what we notice is the patterns of companies that are in the top 10 are very consistent. And so we want to make sure we're doing those things that are, put us at the top. But it's nice to be #1. And so you ask, like, what is the genesis? Well, first of all, the award is based on 2/3 is based on employee survey. So it's what our employees say about us, and 1/3 is the submission and an interview with me. So most of it is employees. So that's the most important part, is it's coming from our teams. And I'd say the #1 thing that we do is we start with employees. We always say our true north, our compass, it starts with employees. Employees are the air, customers are the food, and shareholders are, I don't know what comes after that. But I know that employees start first. And so really, the idea is if you've got happy, engaged employees where you connect their hearts, not just their wallets, then you find ways for them to have enriching environments that they can work in, just not only professionally but personally. And so I feel really passionate about that. And to me, that's like one of the greatest things we can do as leaders, is create environments where people can do the best work of their lives and get this like bigger sense of fulfillment out of the company that they're associated with. And so that's really cool, and really proud of the recognition. At the end of the day, top 10, but #1's pretty nice.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and I come into contact with a lot of people from the Intuit Canada office, and I'm always impressed as to how engaged and excited everyone is. It doesn't seem to matter who you speak to, at what level you speak to them. They're always engaged and excited about helping you and talking about the product. And that absolutely comes from the top down. I mean, the direction starts from the top, but it's great to see it across the board. It doesn't matter who it is that you speak with.
Thank you.
The other award that you were awarded, I think it was, I'm not even sure what the time frame was.
Oh, it was last week.
Last week, okay, so fairly recent.
Yeah.
Is the Established FinTech Award.
Yes.
Which, again, great accomplishment. Can you tell us a little bit about what that award is and what it means to you? Yeah,
this is really exciting for us. I completely did not expect to win this one. We won the Established FinTech Award, and what's unique about that is that often when people look at companies like Intuit that have been around for 35 years, they don't really think of us as this fintech.
Right.
They think of us as like accounting software or tax software,
Yep.
desktop and shoeboxes. And there's just been this transformation, in particular when we went from being a desktop app company to QBO being a platform company, and embracing developers, building on top of our platform, and just thinking holistically, how can we solve as many problems as possible for small businesses, not just one thing that fits on a disk. And that's the transformation. So I had multiple people come up at the event and say, this is before we won, that it's been great to see this transformation of a company like just go through constantly disrupting itself, constantly reinventing itself, and that we're just this innovation hub now is really cool. So then to get the award is just kind of like a testament, right?
Yeah.
We're doing something right, and it's really good for branding, and I hope it attracts great employees that want to work for #1 place to work in Canada and most established fintech company. Yeah,
you're just racking up those awards. It's awesome. So thank you very much. We could sit and talk all afternoon, but I know that you've got a lot to do with the conference, so I just wanted to thank you for joining us again for our 3rd annual interview with Jeff Cates. at the QuickBooks Connect conference, and we look forward to hearing all the great things that are coming out over the next couple
And can
of
I
days.
close on congratulations to you on Firm of the Future. This is incredible. I often tell the story that Canada actually started furthest behind all of the other developed countries that we're in terms of cloud adoption. And so it was just like an incredible moment of pride to see you guys win. Not only for all the wonderful things, because I've been along the journey from the beginning with you,
Absolutely,
but also
yes.
to see a Canadian company featured, like to win internationally, is just shows how quickly this country is adopting the future, and wonderful to see you at the front as an example of a company that's grasped that and is charging boldly into that future.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that so much. We obviously wouldn't have even started on the journey without that first visit from yourself and Brad Hull. So I have to thank both of you for us ending up where we are. So
Awesome.
excellent. Thanks so much, everyone, for joining us.
Thank you.